Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is EmoNews, every moment on 9. In tonight's headlines, DLP National Executive meets in Massac, reaffirms vision. IRC holds first public consultation on proposed Domlec rate adjustments. Tasty Treasures Heritage Relay launched in Delis. Blossom, Dominica's Going for Gold fashion extravaganza deemed a success. Taiwan Navy makes historic goodwill visit to St. Kitts and Nevis. Pope says he has no fear of the Trump administration amid Iran war tensions. And Grenada stunned St. Lucia in Windward Islands Under-19 tournament. Details of these stories and more coming up next. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis, and this is the news broadcast for the 13th of April, 2026. First up in local news, the Dominica Labour Party, DLP, National Executive, brought vibrant energy to the community of Massac on Saturday as members convened for a key meeting aimed at strengthening the party's vision and ongoing commitment to the people of Dominica. The gathering focused on strategic discussions, unity, and continued efforts to advance national development. Party representatives emphasized their dedication to delivering on promises and ensuring progress across communities. The meeting also served as a platform for collaboration and forward planning as the executive continues to chart a path towards sustained growth and improved opportunities for citizens. The DLP reaffirmed its commitment to working in the best interests of the nation, highlighting the importance of strong leadership, teamwork, and engagement with communities across Dominica. Concerns are mounting after St. Martin Primary School was reportedly broken into once again, marking the third such incident within the past 3 weeks. The latest break-in occurred on Friday, April 10, where 4 classrooms in the infant section were targeted. Reports indicate that several items were stolen, including cleaning supplies, a projector, a Bluetooth speaker, a Chromebook, and extension cords. The repeated incidents have raised alarm among school staff, parents, and members of the wider community, with calls growing for increased security and swift action. Authorities have launched an investigation into the matter, and further details are expected as inquiries continue. Anyone with information that may assist in the investigation is being urged to contact the relevant authorities. The Tasty Treasures Heritage Relay was officially launched in the community of Delis, bringing together culture, tradition, and community spirit in a vibrant and meaningful celebration. More than just an event, the Tasty Treasures Heritage Relay is being described as a movement aimed at connecting generations while promoting tourism, agriculture, education, health, and overall community development. Organizer Miss Shirlene James Graham delivered highlights of the initiative, emphasizing its vision of honoring the livelihoods of the past while inspiring a sustainable future.
Pride and gratitude, I stand before you as the founder of Tasty Treasures Heritage Relay at the official launch of a vision that immensely blends culture, sports, and culinary excellence into one transformative national experience. What we launch today is not merely an event. It is a heritage movement, one that connects our villages, celebrates our identity, and strengthens the bond between our people, our land, and our traditions. At the heart of this relay is the baton, more than a symbol of movement. It represents unity, continuity, and shared heritage. As it is carried from one village to another, passed hand to hand with pride, it carries with its stories, our culture, and our collective spirit.
Chef Miss Byrne also gave an overview of what patrons can expect, particularly in showcasing local cuisine and culinary traditions.
This baking competition officially launches today, April 12th, and we're going to culminate on August 1st. This baking competition is designed to elevate baking standards while showcasing the depth of culinary talent across Dominica. Organizers have confirmed that participants will be judged using a structured evaluation framework centered on 6 core areas: flavor and balance, technical execution, presentation, creativity, use of local influence, and overall impression. The approach emphasizes discipline, craftsmanship, and intentionality, moving forward simple sweetness to reward well-executed, thoughtful baking. The extended competition period allows participants time to refine their techniques, develop original concepts, and incorporate local ingredients in meaningful ways.
Additionally, Dr. Cedric Harris, who will coordinate the games component of the relay, shared remarks on the role of sports and community engagement in making the initiative a success.
I'm going to be doing this coordinating part of the sports. Sports is very, very important, especially with that relay. It's like a unity. It's unity. If a relay is always about the unifying of the battle has to go from one end to the other. And with the 6, it's going to be 6 participants, 6 runners, and 3 others doing the culinary acts. So you have a team effort is going to be put in place. We also want to do a special prize for the hardest route, which I think to you would see from the bottom of Pomulat up that hill there. It's going to be the most trying adventurous part of it. So we aspect the runners and the combination of running plus the heritage aspect of bringing back the old and the new, because food, no matter how long we're here, the food will always be cooking.
The launch set the tone for what promises to be a dynamic and impactful celebration of Dominica's cultural richness and community resilience. The launch ended with a mini exhibition of what is to come on August 1st, 2026.
We have to pick up, that's one of our very own Big G pepper sauce. So before we'd have our choppy, we call it yo-yo, that we play before. You see it, guys? Our choppy would have this ceiling shot. So you'd either catch a bird, a pipirit, with a slingshot or dig, dig that you used to cut from the breadfruit tree, and then the bird would come and catch it on there, right? Would have the cow, the eye on the cow, and then that is what would have cut in the wood of before. We have the pip. No, that's not pip, my Bible pip, but just how they used to smoke before. Here in Roseau, in 1899 and the present today. Emo, good. This is the lamb before. You see the yampe, the kakao, the coconut. Now that's Tasty Treasures brand. Okay? So before we'd have our cocoa sticks, what I said we had before, right? We have our tambourine balls. We have the lamb.
The Independent Regulatory Commission, IRC, has commenced its public consultation process on the proposed revised electricity rates for Domlec, with the first session held at the Public Service Union. The consultation brought together stakeholders, consumers, and members of the public to review and provide feedback on the proposed tariff adjustments before a final decision is made. During the session, Mr. Justin Chase delivered a brief overview of the tariff phase, emphasizing the importance of the current stage in the process.
Welcome and thank you for joining us for this important session, which marks the first consultation in the final phase of the tariff review process, Domlec revised electricity rates. This stage represents a critical point in our work as regulator, where transparency, stakeholder engagement, and careful consideration of all perspectives must guide our decisions. Over the past months, we have undertaken detailed technical and financial assessments. Today begins the process of sharing those outcomes and inviting your input before any final determination is made. Your participation is essential to ensuring that the revised tariff structure strikes the appropriate balance between maintaining the financial viability of the utility and protecting the interests of consumers. We look forward to a constructive and informed discussion this afternoon. At this point, I will proceed to my presentation, which basically provides a synopsis of the takeaways from the tariff review process. Key takeaways: lower and more stable costs, and that is primarily due to the fact that we are going to enjoy geothermal energy on the grid, hopefully from end of this month. This should definitely translate to a reduced fuel price exposure. Second takeaway, we have introduced a new tariff structure which constitutes of or includes the time of use, whereby during the peak period, the customer will enjoy a higher rate than the off-peak period. This is what is called price-reflective tariff, whereby the utility utilizes more of its generators to generate during the peak time and less generators during the off-peak time. And as a result, the cost flows with the number of generators that are on the grid at any point in time. So the tariffs must evolve with the energy mix.
He noted that the Commission is now actively engaging stakeholders and the wider public to gather input, ensuring transparency and inclusiveness in its decision-making. The Commission highlighted that these consultations are designed to give consumers, businesses, and other interested parties the opportunity to examine the proposal and share their views. Further discussions outlined how customers could potentially benefit from reduced electricity costs with the introduction of geothermal energy.
So we are seeing the energy, the cost saving that customers will realize with the proposed or can realize with the proposed revised tariff when geothermal is commissioned. Now, we have to be mindful. So we cannot say, okay, our electricity rates is reducing a little and therefore use up more electricity, you will see a higher bill. So if, for example, you have a domestic customer whose average consumption is 100 kilowatt per month, under the proposed revised tariff with geothermal, it will be $93.45. If we compare it with the existing rate, we've seen a percentage saving of $17.33. Domestic time of use customer, if the average consumption is 250, can realize a cost savings of 11.4% reduction in the bill. Similarly, small business customers with a usage of 500 under the proposed revised tariff, there is $568.45 compared to the existing, which is $666.21. There is a cost savings of $14 and 14.69%. Commercial large with a 2,416 kilowatt hour usage, compare with the proposed and the existing rate, they can realize a 10.47% reduction. Water large with consumption of 8,609 kilowatt hours under the proposed revised tariff with geothermal, the cost of their bill would have been $9,553.60. They would have realized an 11.71% reduction in their bill. Industrial customer with a consumption of energy usage of 14,402 kilowatts, they would have realized a 9.47% reduction in their bill. High voltage customer with an energy usage of 72,372 kilowatt hour would realize an 11.62% reduction. So I am saying this, the reduction is based on your usage.
Officials explained that this transition is expected to play a key role in lowering long-term energy expenses. The IRC reiterated that public participation remains a critical component of the regulatory framework. The Commission affirmed its commitment to balancing consumer protection, fair and reasonable electricity rates, and financial sustainability of the electricity sector. Additional consultations are expected as the process continues, with final decisions to be made after all stakeholder feedback is carefully reviewed. And finally, in local news, the Afro-Caribbean Fashion Extravaganza 2026, Going for Gold, the Journey of 1,000 Miles, hosted by Blossom Dominica, was successfully held on Saturday, April 11, 2026, at the Realm in Roseau, delivering an unforgettable evening of culture, fashion, and artistic expression. The highly anticipated event brought together designers, models, performers, and creatives from across Dominica and the wider Caribbean, creating a vibrant showcase that celebrated Afro-Caribbean heritage, resilience, and identity. Patrons were treated to a dynamic runway experience, blending traditional influences with bold, contemporary fashion, alongside powerful performances, spoken word, and storytelling.
You belong to me.
This year's theme, Going for Gold, came to life through a visually stunning and emotionally engaging production that highlighted the journey of perseverance and triumph that defines Caribbean people. Founder and creative director Kimara Matthew expressed satisfaction with the outcome of the event, noting that the production met its vision of growth, excellence, and cultural celebration.
Happy Monday, everyone. I am Kimara Matthew, Creative Director of Blossom Dominica, and this morning I am super excited and I am pleased to announce that Afro-Caribbean 2026 Going for Gold, the journey of 1,000 miles, was a huge success, and I want to thank all my sponsors and also the patrons at home and abroad who supported by coming on and experiencing this journey with us. On the 11th of April, 5:30, the REM came to life, and Team Blossom Dominica delivered exactly what they promised. We promised a night of pure bliss, authentic Caribbean lifestyle, and we were not afraid to express our challenges and show our resilience as Caribbean people. So again, I am pleased to announce that the event was well received, and of course that was evident from the many phone calls, the voice messages, the WhatsApp messages, the visits this morning was overwhelming. So I want to say to Dominicans, thank you for supporting, and continue embracing your heritage, continue showing who you are, and continue loving and embracing your country, Dominica. Signing out, this is Miss Blossom.
Attendees also enjoyed interactive elements, surprise performances, and a lively atmosphere that reflected the richness and unity of Afro-Caribbean culture. Organizers say the continued success of the production reinforces its role as a premier cultural event in Dominica, with plans already being anticipated for future editions. And that's all for local news this evening. Stay tuned for regional news coming up next. And now for regional news. The government of Grenada has taken a major step toward improving road infrastructure with the introduction of a purpose-built pothole patcher truck. The specialized vehicle, officially handed over, is designed to repair potholes efficiently, allowing for quicker and more effective road maintenance across the island. Officials say the investment will significantly enhance road conditions, reduce recurring damage, and improve safety for motorists and pedestrians. The new equipment is expected to streamline maintenance efforts and ensure a more reliable road network nationwide. The initiative reflects the government of Grenada's commitment to practical, results-driven solutions aimed at strengthening infrastructure and improving the daily experiences of its citizens. And now moving over to St. Kitts. Taiwan Navy has made a historic goodwill visit to St. Kitts and Nevis, its first to the Federation in 23 years, marking a significant milestone in the long-standing relationship between the two nations. The visit symbolizes the enduring friendship between St. Kitts and Nevis and Taiwan, built over decades on mutual trust, respect, and shared progress. Prime Minister Terence Drew welcomed the visit, noting its importance at both the diplomatic and community levels. He expressed satisfaction that citizens were given the opportunity to board the vessel, meet the crew, and experience the exchange firsthand. Dr. Drew emphasized that such interactions help broaden perspectives, strengthen cultural understanding, and reinforce the idea that meaningful partnerships are built not only between governments, but also among people. The goodwill visit also allowed residents to engage directly with the visiting crew, fostering deeper cultural ties and mutual appreciation. Officials say the visit highlights the continued commitment of both nations to strengthening cooperation and maintaining strong diplomatic relations. And that's all for regional news this evening. Stay tuned for international news coming up next.
Blast Gaming presents its biggest job whatever. Blast Mystery Progressive. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. The new Blast Jackpot rising. And I like it. It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up and up and up and up.
Play selected games to win in the Blast Mystery Progressive. Pick until you match 3 gems and win one of the 5 cash jackpots. Or you can blast up with the Mystery Progressive jackpot.
It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up. Blast Gaming.
And now for international news. A 77-year-old British man has died and 27 others were injured after a tourist bus plunged into a ravine in La Gomera, part of the Canary Islands. According to emergency services, the bus was carrying 28 people, 27 British tourists and a driver when it veered off. The group had been heading to the port to catch a ferry to Tenerife. Authorities confirmed that emergency services received the alert shortly after 1 p.m. local time, triggering a major rescue operation involving helicopters and multiple ambulances. All 27 injured passengers were initially taken to a local hospital. Medical officials later confirmed that 21 have since been discharged, while 3 remain under observation. Another 3 patients with serious injuries were airlifted to hospitals in Tenerife for specialized treatment. Officials say the crash occurred on a mountainous stretch of road known for sharp turns, with early indications suggesting the bus left the roadway near a hairpin bend before plunging into the ravine. The UK government has expressed condolences, with Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper confirming that support is being provided to the victims' family and those affected. Local authorities in the Canary Islands have also extended their sympathies as investigations continue into the cause of the crash. Pope Leo XIV says he has no fear of the Donald Trump administration, defending his message of peace after criticism from the U.S. president. Speaking aboard a flight to Africa, the pontiff said the church's role is to promote peace, not engage in politics. He emphasized his mission as a peacemaker grounded in the gospel. President Trump criticized the Pope as terrible for foreign policy and said he was not a fan, accusing him of undermining U.S. leadership over tensions with Iran. The Pope has repeatedly condemned war rhetoric, stressing that religion should never justify conflict. Vatican officials have backed him, calling the criticism an attack on a moral voice for peace. The exchange highlights rising tensions between political and religious views on global conflict. And finally, in international news, the United States has announced plans to blockade all ships attempting to enter or leave Iranian ports through the strategic Strait of Hormuz. The move comes after recent peace talks between Washington and Tehran ended without agreement, signaling a further escalation in the ongoing conflict. Donald Trump has taken a firm stance amid the developments, as the U.S. increases pressure on Iran through military and economic measures. In response, Iran has issued a strong warning, stating that no port in the Persian Gulf or the Sea of Oman would be safe if Iranian ports are targeted. The announcement has already sent shockwaves through global markets, with oil prices rising sharply and stock markets showing signs of instability due to concerns over disruptions in one of the world's most critical oil shipping routes. Elsewhere in the region, violence persists, with reports of continued deadly Israeli strikes in southern Lebanon. The situation remains highly volatile, with global attention focused on the Strait of Hormuz, a key maritime corridor vital to international trade and energy supply. And that's all for international news this evening. Stay tuned for the sports segment coming up next.
Attention! The Alwyn Bowley Foundation, Max Services, and E.O. Libla family invites you to an evening of poetry, jazz, cocktail with a touch of bouillon on May 2nd at Jungle Bay Resort from 6 p.m. Performances by selected secondary schools, strict cast, and experienced poets. Pan in Harmony, King Bob, Lady Octave, Shalina, Andre and Sax, along with Bouillon Emperor. Tickets are available at Jay's Bookstore and Jungle Bay Resort. Tickets $150. Don't forget the dates. May 2nd, jazz, poetry, cocktail with a touch of bouillon. May 2nd, be there.
Welcome to the sports segment. The senior women's national football team has departed the island this morning en route to St. Lucia as they continue the campaign in the CONCACAF Women's World Cup qualifiers. The Dominican side is set to face Antigua and Barbuda on Tuesday, April 14th at the Darren Sammy National Stadium in St. Lucia. The match is a crucial fixture as the team looks to advance in the qualifying stages. Team officials and supporters are optimistic as the squad prepares to represent the Nature Isle on the regional stage, carrying the hopes of the nation within them. Dominicans at home and abroad are being encouraged to rally behind the team and wish the ladies the very best as they aim for success in the World Cup journey. EmoNews wishes the team well. And finally, in sports, Grenada produced a stunning turnaround performance to defeat St. Lucia in the Match 2 of the Winlot Super 6 Windward Islands Under-19 cricket tournament on Sunday, April 12, 2026 at Benjamin's Park in Dominica. After winning the toss and electing to bat, Grenada struggled early, losing wickets at regular intervals and slipping to 42 for 4. A brief recovery followed, but the team was eventually bowled out for a modest 123, with Camille Abraham top scoring with 24 runs. St. Lucia's bowling attack was led by Bjorn Farnese with 3 for 23, with strong support from captain Theo Edward 2 for 20 and Cody Fontenelle 2 for 26. Chasing 124 for victory, St. Lucia appeared on course early on but were rocked by disciplined bowling from Grenada. Aaron Edwards removed both openers while Aravinda Bishop added further pressure with a key breakthrough. The turning point came as Grenada spinners dismantled the middle and lower order, triggering a collapse that saw St. Lucia lose 7 wickets for just 30 runs. They were eventually bowled out for 103, handing Grenada a well-earned victory. Leading the charge was Shamel Hilaire, who delivered a match-winning spell of 6 wickets for 26 runs in just 5.4 overs to claim man of the match honors. Grenada captain Kavon Bartholomew praised the team's resilience, noting that despite a challenging batting performance, the bowlers stepped up to secure the win. Hilaire also expressed gratitude for the opportunity, highlighting the team's determination to fight until the end. The victory moves Grenada into 3rd place in the standings, behind St. Lucia and defending champions Commonwealth of Dominica. Grenada will next face St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Tuesday, April 14, as the tournament continues. And that's all for the sports segment this evening. Stay tuned for the weather report coming up next.
Welcome to Portsmouth, the home of jazz and Creole. This is where everything starts to build. And just a few minutes away,
on May 3rd, this entire space transforms
into music, into style, into a feeling you don't want to miss. Jazz and Creole, proudly presented by the government of Dominica. And it all happens right here. The artists performing on the main stage. From Jamaica, Taurus Riley, the Singy King, a voice that moves generations, and the Black Soil Band. Also from Jamaica, Dean Fraser. When the sax hits, everything slows down. From the USA, the Manhattans, timeless souls, effortless, unforgettable. Dominica's Princess of Song, Mikkel Henderson, a voice that commands every moment. Dominica's neo-soul queen, Lily Octave, smooth, rich, and completely her own. Pure energy from Dominica, swinging stars. When they start, you move. The pulse of the streets. From Dominica, rhythm knockers, raw percussion, iron-strong energy. From Dominica, Fael Landa, honest sound, real connection. From Dominica, Janet Jackson, a voice that carries feeling, depth, and presence. And from Dominica, Khadijah Joseph, new energy, a sound you'll feel. This is how we jazz up Creole in Dominica.
May 3rd, 2 p.m., Fort Shirley, Cabritz National Park.
Tickets, VIP $450. At fringe events, $175. General admission, $200. Ages 12 to 17, $75. And children under 12 enter for free. Get your tickets now at dominicafestivals.com and at select outlets in Roseau and Portsmouth. And when you're coming, come for an experience. In fact,
Make it a weekend. Come from Friday. There's lots of available accommodations in the north and plenty to do.
Go whale watching, then slow it down. Snorkel the reefs, then take it inland. Drift through the Indian River and chase a waterfall at Syndicate. Then go deeper. Find your way to Paradise Valley. Step into the chocolate factory. Then shift the scene. Red Rocks. Then back to the coast. Coconut Beach, Purple Turtle Beach, Bell Hall Beach. Find a quiet spot, even a secret beach. Ride a horse along the shore. Eat well. Take your time. That's Portsmouth. We'll see you at the Fort Shirley Cabritz National Park on May 3rd from 2 p.m. dressed in your Afro elegance attire.
And here is your latest weather update from the Dominica Meteorological Service. Weak and unstable conditions are approaching the area, bringing mostly cloudy skies, scattered showers, and occasional breezy periods. Winds are expected to be east-southeast to easterly, ranging from 10 to 30 kilometers per hour, with higher gusts at times. Sea conditions will be moderate, with waves reaching between 1.5 to 2.0 meters, or approximately 5 to 7 feet. A high surf advisory is currently in effect. Residents in flood and landslide-prone areas are advised to remain vigilant. Sea bathers and small craft operators should also exercise caution due to stronger wave action and increasing swells. And that's your weather report for this evening. Stay tuned for further updates, and as always, stay safe. And this brings us to the end of tonight's news broadcast for the 13th of April 2026. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis. On behalf of the entire newscast, we say thank you for viewing. This is EmoNightly News, every moment online. Good night.